So this time in the had kind of more of the tutti frutti, the kind of more natural sort of products. So these picks here have a beautiful blue purpley berry on them. I have, you know me, I always love a little bit of glitz, a little bit of bling, so I have these kind of like glittery little apples which I've wired them together. I have a couple of the orange slices, and again I've showed you in a tutorial how to wire them. I also have a couple of little bunches of the cinnamon sticks, so I've just bound them together with a little piece of ribbon and I've wired them, and probably I'll add in a couple of pine cones as well. So bow wise, I've decided to use a little bit of the purple organza to pick up the purple and the berries and the apples. But again, if you'd prefer to keep it more natural, maybe just stick with the hessian. So again, I probably have included a choice in your kit. So again, we're deciding will we put the bow at the bottom or the top. So I'm going to put the bow at the bottom of this one. Again, no particular plan, so here we go, the wire is an up into it, and I think I'll put the hessian in as well. So I'm going to put the hessian on top of it, so that way then I'm keeping kind of to the natural theme, but I'm just bringing out a little bit of a splash of colour. So in the kit I had 6 of these berries picks. Now again, you don't have to use them all. So probably starting like a clock, starting down at the bow, I'm going to stick the pick in and I'm hooking it up underneath. I'll leave a little bit of space and I'll stick the second one in and I'll hook it underneath. Now with 6 of them you'll have absolutely loads, okay? Chances are you'll probably only get the 5 of them in. So there's our third one, there's our fourth one, and I wasn't far wrong when I said that we'll get the 5 of them in. Now if you choose to squash them a bit closer together and put the 6 in, that's absolutely fine. But doesn't that look lovely already before you put anything else into it? So next what I'm going to do is add in a couple of our orange slices. So this again is where we're getting the tutti frutti. So I have the oranges kind of like wired in 2s, well there's 3 here, so 2 or 3 slices together at a time. But if you want to, you can wire them individual, like each, I've included plenty of wires in the kit. So you can include, wire up the orange slices individually and then divide them, you know, kind of like, you know, I mean, more evenly than I'm doing it. But I really think with Christmas wreaths, especially if you're doing this commercially to sell, what you want to do really is get the material into the kit. But if you're doing this for yourself and this is just something that you want to design for your own hall door, absolutely spend a little bit more time doing it. But there you go, there we have our little cherry picks going through it and our orange slices. The next thing I want is a couple of the cinnamon sticks. Now again, I have 5 or 6 little bundles of the cinnamon sticks. It depends really, when you wrap them together, are you wrapping them in 2s or 3s? So in around where the orange slices are, that's where I'm going to add in our cinnamon sticks. So just kind of think one will kind of complement the other. Now I've bound them together with a little bit of the green florist ribbon. You know the ribbon that I included in your kit for making the hanger on the door? So I've used some of that to wrap around the cinnamon sticks. But what you could do, an elastic band to do the same job, or if anybody has a little bit of straw, so if anybody's in from the country, out to the barn and get yourself a little bit of straw, a little piece of straw wrapped around that would be absolutely gorgeous as well. So we put in another 1 or 2 little bundles of the cinnamon sticks. I think I put 5 in there. Just finding, there I found the wire. Sometimes you're poking that wire and you can't actually find it. And that's what it looks like with our 5 cinnamon sticks, 5 little bundles of cinnamon sticks. Now the last thing I need is just a couple of pine cones. Haven't got any wired, so bear with me for just 2 seconds. Okay, so 6 pine cones wired. So it's really just deciding. If you want to leave it at that, that's absolutely fine. But I love pine cones going through the Christmas wreaths, and especially with them kind of more natural ones, I think you really need the pine cone going through it. Now what you can also do with the pine cones is you can spray them different colours, but if you're going for the natural, I think maybe just leave them natural. But like some people get in and they spray them silvers or golds, or they get some paint and they kind of like tip the edges of the pine cone with white paint, and that looks really lovely. So all I've done is just randomly divided the pine cones in and out through the material that's on the wreath already. And again, to be honest, you could leave it like that. But remember I had these purple apples. I have a couple of these. Now I'm kind of at the stage I actually like it the way it is. So if this wreath was for my door, I'd probably leave it as it is. But you listen, we got these, so we're going to add them into it. And you can choose yourself. So I have them divided up into groups where I put, say, a couple of apples together at the same time. If you prefer and you want to wire all your apples individually and then disperse them more evenly through it, So there you go, that's just to give you an idea. I actually think it's nice. It's bringing out a little bit of purple, but I do understand sometimes when people like a more natural wreath, they're maybe not quite as much into the bling. And if somebody likes a blingy kind of Christmas wreath, again, you probably love absolutely loads of it. So I have 4 little groups of the apples. Now again, this group of apples has 2 apples on it. This one had 3, and that one had 4, and this one has 3. So again, you can see you don't have to be even or counting or worried or trying to balance things up. Keep it as casual as you possibly can. And there's little words on these so you can bend them down into it. I actually like them now. I wasn't mad about them at the beginning, but now I actually do like them. So there's our Tutti Frutti wreath, ready to hang on the door. And again, all it needs is an extra piece of ribbon just to make the hanger.